everyone, I'm Rita Peterson with Everything Homemade, and this has been a video I've been wanting to make for years, and I'm going to just do it. I think it's really important to know how to use essential oils, and so many people have asked me, what essential oil do I use with this? How do I mix essential oils? What do I do if I want to put essential oils on my bare skin? What do I use? Like, all these questions come at me, and I really want to create a video that is simple, easy for a person to understand if you haven't dived into essential oils, if you don't know much about essential oils, don't know how to use them. I'm going to keep all the medical terminology as much as I can out. I'm going to simplify it so you can be equipped on how to use essential oils properly, effectively, and safely. So that's what we're covering in this video. Before we do, I would like to mention that I am a fiction author. If you'd like to check out my books at the end of this video, please do so. All the links are also in the description box below. Just a disclaimer here, I am not a medical doctor. I have no degree. I'm a self-taught person of 15 years of working with essential oils, and I'm going to just share my knowledge with you. But please, if you have any medical conditions, any question regarding your medical condition, anything like that, please don't put it in the comments below. Please seek medical attention at once, appropriately at the hospital, through your family doctor, through a naturopath, something like that. So with the comments, please keep them to what I'm talking about. Do not include any of your particular past or anything like that. I will not be answering those kind of questions. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Now, there is so much information out there about essential oils. The first thing you want to do when you are looking at essential oils is find at least one good book. And I'm going to show you what that one good book is, because there are thousands out there. But let's start with this book right here. So this is the complete book of essential oils and aromatherapy. I have read a ton of books, but nothing comes close to this one. And if you really want to understand on how to use oils for certain conditions, how to properly mix them, some ideas. Let's say you have an earache. So let's say you have an earache, and I'm going to I already kind of marked this, but ear infections, it has a little section here. And I'm just going to read it for you. It's really simple. So it just tells you, you can use tea tree and lavender, 3 drops of tea tree, 2 drops of lavender in a substitute massage oil, and I'll go through that in a moment. It tells you what to mix that oil with. But what I like about it is that on the sides here, you probably can't see it very well, but on the sides here, it will give you alternative oils. And that way, if you don't have just that one oil, it gives you ideas on other oils that you can use, which is really, really beneficial. So it goes through, my book goes through 600 different conditions. The new revised version goes through 800. And let me tell you, the simplicity of how she writes this book, how it's laid out, understanding it is top notch, and I would really like the revised version as well. This was copyrighted in 1991 and has been around for 25 years. And I just looked on Amazon. You can definitely get the updated book. It's about $34 Canadian. But if you're going to invest in one book, this is the book you want. It will go through everything you need to know about essential oils. And I would highly recommend this. I'll put the link in the description box below. So this is my go-to book all the time. The next important thing you need to know about essential oils is what brand to buy. That has got to be one of the next biggest things. And let's say you pick up the book, you got some head knowledge, you read, you kind of figuring out, okay, what I need now. What essential oils do I actually need to buy, and what essential oils I shouldn't really worry about, and how do I choose that essential oil? So to make it really simple, do not buy essential oils from any big superstores, okay? Don't even go there. Don't buy essential oils at Walmart. Don't buy them at Costco. Don't buy them at Safeway, at Save On Foods, at Real Canadian Superstore. These are all Canadian places. If you live somewhere else, big box stores is what I'm talking about. You know, if you have a tea tree oil, let's say a 15 milliliter bottle, something like this size, and they're selling it for $8.99, even $15.99, run far, far away. The price is going to determine quality, usually with essential oils. So if you want it, this is not a place you want to cheap out. There are definitely, I'm very frugal. There's definitely places where you can go to Dollarama and buy some, you know, cheap container that you need, no big deal, or cheaper paintbrushes, crafting supplies, such like that. But with essential oils, you will get what you pay for, and you definitely do not want to buy something cheap. One, you're going to not see the results. You're just going to flush your money down the toilet. Two, it's not going to work very effectively, so you're going to have to use more of the oil. Therefore, you should have just bought something more expensive, because 2 drops of the more expensive oil would have done the trick, while you have just used 15 to 20 drops of the inexpensive oil, and you sort of get results. So you're actually going to spend more money going cheap than if you would have just bought it a little bit more expensive through a better brand or a company. And I have done that. I bought the cheap stuff, and I have went with the expensive stuff, and it is night and day, the results. So when you think something's not working, make sure you're not just cheaping out, because it makes a big difference in the results. When you're dealing with essential oils, I'm going to name a few of them. This is definitely not an entire list. I don't even keep up with all the companies anymore, because there's so many companies, and I just do not have the time to do that. But my favorite company is doTerra, for a couple of reasons. And I don't get any kickbacks here. I don't sell doTerra. I just buy it for myself. So this is not a sales pitch. I buy it because I can order it. I'm in rural Alberta. I got no stores around me. In the city, it's very hard to buy essential oils. Aqua Alam is another really good essential oil that is sold through health stores in the biggest city nearby me, but the quality is not near as effective as doTerra. Now, Young Living is good. Those two are pretty close. And for me, I like it because all I have to do is go on the internet or pick up the phone and go, hey, I want to order this oil. It gets shipped within 2 days to my postal code. Done. I don't got to worry about it. And with COVID-19, this is simple. All I have to do is send in my order, and it gets shipped to my rural postal outlet. So for me, it's convenient, but it's quality. So if you're in a much bigger center with more availability than I do, because I am very isolated where I am, then you may have better, you may have more selection. But go to a health food store, go to somewhere where specializes, or go to a place where sells or deals with aromatherapy, with essential oils. Don't go to your box stores. Stay away. Go somewhere where somebody knows a lot more, and look them up on the internet. Read about the company. So many cheap oils will smell cheap. They smell chemicalized. I am so sensitive to smells that if I smell a lavender essential oil from, let's say, the brand Now, I will get an instant headache because it's completely chemicalized. The tea tree oil doesn't work very good. You get a nice huge bottle for 19 bucks, but let me tell you, it doesn't work. It's cut with something. Well, I can have a small bottle of tea tree oil And guess what? I see results, but it's $34. But let me tell you, that 15 milliliter tea tree bottle will last me half a year of use, and I see results within a few drops. So think about that. Really think about that. I'm going to stress that. I know I may be rambling, but so many people have asked me this question, and you have to understand that, you know, your vitamins, your minerals that you're getting, your oils, your essential oils, if you're gonna buy them from Costco, if you're gonna buy them from those big supermarkets, they're gonna be cut with additives, they're gonna have garbage in it, they're gonna be synthetic, and you're not really doing yourself much justice cheaping out. So if you want to see results, buy quality, especially in this particular area. You're gonna see the results a lot more than just taking something that is synthetic. That is just the plain fact of the industry. Big companies are gonna cut as much as they can to make their profit bigger, even if that means that they're not selling you a great product. So think about that. I'm going to leave it as that. So you picked out your essential oils. I'm using doTerra. You picked it out. Now what do you need to do? Well, you should definitely have a carrier oil in the house. What is a carrier oil? A carrier oil is an oil used to mix with the essential oil to help basically carry that essential oil where you need it to go. So in a nutshell, essential oils are very powerful. They can burn the skin. A lot of oils you want to use or cut with a carrier oil so you don't end up burning your skin, because they are very powerful. And some oils sting or can cause rashes or irritation if used improperly. The other thing is that using a carrier oil makes your essential oils last longer as well. There's a time where you don't need to use a carrier oil, but 8 out of 10 times you will be using a carrier oil when you are putting it on your skin. So you want to have something. So what can you use? There is a wide range. You can use jojoba oil. You can use almond oil or sweet almond oil. You can use coconut oil. You can use palm oil. You can use olive oil, hemp oil, flaxseed oil. I mean, if you don't have anything else, you can even use canola oil. It isn't the best. I don't like canola oil, but my word, if you need to have something in the house, you can use that too. My top picks are almond oil, coconut oil, and olive oil. I've also used hemp oil. So those are my go-to that I really like. But basically you're looking for an oil to carry it. So if you're in a pinch and the only thing you have in the house is peanut oil, my goodness, use peanut oil. You're just looking for some kind of oil and to carry that essential oil. Okay, so I like the coconut oil because it mimics the medium chain fatty acids of your skin. It's very soothing. It also has a lot of health properties on top of that. I like hemp oil too because, again, it's liquid at room temperature, while coconut oil can solidify at room temperature just depending. So I like that. Olive oil is great if you got a quality olive oil. Remember, quality olive oil. The stuff at the supermarket is cut with canola oil. Take a look on the internet. You can find enough about that. So look at your oils and see what you got. If you are on a budget, go with hemp oil. Is very inexpensive. Go with coconut oil. It'll last a long time. Take a look and pick an oil of your choosing. So you definitely need that on hand. The other thing you want is some kind of glass container. Now with essential oils, they are powerful and people underestimate the powerful properties of essential oils. They will eat through plastic. That is right. They will literally eat. If you put essential oils in plastic, and it depends on what kind, within 24 hours, it'll start like collapsing and losing its shape. If it's a harder plastic, it'll take some time, but essential oils will eat through plastic. So you want to use a glass container when you're mixing essential oils, especially if you're making a hand cream. The other thing is old medicine bottles like these. Like this is just an old medicine bottle. I look on Kijiji in Canada. You can look at Craigslist, anything that people are, you know, trading, giving away. If they got a stock of glass bottles with like tops like this kind of idea, get them, because you're definitely gonna need them when you really get into essential oils. Plus they're glass here, and make sure that the eyedropper part is also glass. The rubber piece here, essential oils, will eventually actually eat it away. I've went through several of these in my lifetime where suddenly the rubber just starts deteriorating, and it's because of the essential oil. Know that that is totally normal. Okay, so you got your book, you got your essential oils, you have some containers. Now, what essential oils what essential oils are you gonna use? Now, I'm going to go through the top 11 essential oils. I know 11, usually it's the top 10, but I can't narrow it down. Mine's going to be the top 11. And it just so happens that I actually had an injury yesterday. And basically, if you take a look at my hands, you see this is my normal hand. This is a bit puffed up, right? These two fingers right here, you can definitely see that. All this part here is puffed up compared to this hand. You see this loose skin here. This is quite tight. That's about as far as I can move my hand this morning. It is swelled and sprained. Okay, the other thing is I got a sprained shoulder here. I hurt my back. Actually, my nose is lightly bruised. You can't really see it, but when you touch it, youch. My neck is sprained. My ankles are sprained. In a short, you're probably asking, what did you do to yourself? Well, we were moving some cows, and all our cows are on leads. And one of the cow that I was moving, animals are unpredictable, and she bolted, but I had the lead really tight wrapped around my hands, you know, moving her, walking like I do every day, and she bolted all of a sudden, took me, I slammed down onto the ground face first, and I smucked my hand. I actually heard all my knuckles cracking, smashed it to the ground. By the time I got the lead off my hands just to let go of her, she already had pulled me, and let me tell you, I was a hurting unit. The good news is she's doing okay. She's all lovey-dovey again, and we got her back into the pen. But ow, I hurt. Okay, so my hand is swelled, and I'm gonna show you a cream that I'm gonna be putting on my hand. Now, yesterday I did cold packs. Every time I was in the house, I did a cold pack on top, which has really helped the swelling to stabilize. But now what I want is the inflammation, the pain, because it hurts, the pain to obviously go down and to heal. So I'm going to actually in this video make a cream for my hand, and I'm going to show you what essential oils I'm going to do with that. So bear with me. I'm trying to get you lots of information here as a beginner. So I'm going to take a close look here at the top 11 essential oils I have. I'm going to go through each one really quickly and why I picked that one, and then you can make a decision of your own when you dive into it, which essential oils will work best for your situation. Okay, so what I have here is just a whole bunch of essential oils here. So I'm going to go through them from up here. And you notice that I have painter's tape on each one. That's because in my medicine cabinet it's kind of small, and I always have a backup of certain oils. and I have painter's tape on the working oil that is open and being used, because I have 6 children and sometimes they don't pay attention to what they open, and this just tells them if it has painter's tape on and it's the oil you want, that's the oil you grab, that's the one that we are working. So I call it my working oils. Okay, so the first one that I find to make my list is oregano. Now you can definitely get, you know, oil of oregano from the supermarket. Usually Joy of Oregano is the brand. It does not work. Let me tell you, when you've got really bad colds and flu, sore throat, anything that's really bothering you, respiratory issues, take oregano. Now with oregano, you definitely don't want to drop this into your mouth and swallow it. It will burn like a son of a gun because this is potent. So what I do is we take this internally and we put, if you are an adult, I say 3 to 4 drops in a quarter of a cup of water, mix it, swallow it. Otherwise, you are asking for trouble. If a child can take this, I would say over the age of 10, you would want to use 1 to 2 drops. Now, if you're really sick, I get my family to take this about 3 times a day with meals. So because this is so potent, do not take this on an empty stomach. Do not take this by itself. In this case, this can be taken internally because it's from doTerra. In the back, it says it can be taken internally. A lot of the essential oils can't. When you got something that can be taken internally, you know you're onto something good because it is not going to be polluted. So we do take this. If you want to put it on your skin, this fights warts. I've killed plantar's warts before with this. You definitely want a carrier oil mix. And I'll talk about mixing with carrier oils and the amounts in a moment. So this is why I have oregano. Okay, tea tree. Oh man, antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. Oh man, the list can go on. This is great. I have used this in so many oral infections with my kids. You know, they get their teeth in and their gums are moving and suddenly got food stuck and now it's got pus. I have put this on a cloth and on that spot, and within 24 hours infection is gone if that is the root problem. I've used this on many places on the skin. We use it definitely for an antibacterial, for rashes. If I don't know what the rash is about, this will definitely go into the cream that I make. This goes into the spray I make on the floor to clean up the cat's stuff, let's say puke or something, because I do cat board, so I do a lot of cleanup. I've done, you know, cuts and scrapes and bruises and anything you want to kill bacteria with. That's a little gentler than the oregano. So this here, I will definitely not put oil of oregano on my kids' skin. Even if it's with a carrier oil, I will use tea tree oil. So tea tree, I do go through a lot of tea tree in my house. Okay, peppermint oil. This really is, I choose peppermint because it opens up the lungs, opens up the breathing ways. It's really good as a cooling oil. So let's say this is definitely gonna go into the hand cream I'm gonna make for my puffed up hand. It definitely, I use it in my toothpaste. I use it as actually flavoring, and when I make chocolate puddings or cakes or anything that I need a peppermint oil or extract, I definitely will use it just to a cooling effect. Peppermint gives this nice cooling effect. So something that's hot or agitated like a rash or something, a drop may go into that hand cream. That kind of gives you an idea. Also really good with mosquito bites and bug bites as well. And I'm probably missing stuff. I'm just doing this on top of my head, but there's so many other uses to each one. I'm just kind of giving you an idea. Lemon, definitely. This goes in my vinegar mix. In my, I clean the floors with this here in it. Lemon definitely goes into baking and cooking as well. So I use a lot of lemon in a nutshell for a lot of cleaning, a lot of disinfecting kind of idea is where I use lemon. And the other thing that I use lemon makes a really nice tea. So let's say I don't have any lemons, like actual fruit lemons, then I'll put a drop of this into some hot water with honey for a quick soothing tea for the throat or sickness, anything like that. Lavender, very, very good one for rashes. I use a lot of it. Very good for young children, babies. I mean adults too, but it's just really soothing, really good for bedtime. Really gentle for babies. Let's say if they're sick, this would be a really good one to use a carrier oil to rub on their feet, because it is so gentle. A drop in their bath, just all around, but excellent for bug bites as well. You really use this, anything for hurts on your skin will go into the mix because it is so soothing. It also pulls out venom. It really helps heal the skin and the body as well. So that one's a really important one. Eucalyptus, this is my go-to when we got, a respiratory cold, we got just normal cold, sickness. I will use this and use a carrier oil and rub it on their throats, on their chests, on the back, on their soles of their feet. It really helps to help them breathe. And so this is where I use eucalyptus a lot. It is also used in the thieves essential oil mix that I use a lot when we have colds and flus in the house. The other thing is frankincense. Now this is probably the most expensive oil that I have. This little bottle is worth over $100 Canadian. This bottle is now probably 10 years old. I use it, I call it my big gun. So if mom takes out the frankincense, we know we have either severe injury, severe cold, severe cut, infection, something, because that's where I will add frankincense to it, because it is powerful. I also use it only when absolute necessary because it is so expensive. So a bad injury would be like my husband got a spider bite and you can see the venom going up his arm, and I mix this one with tea tree, with lavender, with I can't remember, tea tree, lavender, frankincense, peppermint, with some silver gel, some shea butter, and I made a cream, and this definitely went in, and today we never did go to the hospital with it. We were able to contain it at home. So very, very powerful essential oil. The next one is Clove Bud. I basically use this for my Thieves formula because it works so well with the immune system in boosting it. So this is where I use clove oil. This one's rosemary, and rosemary oil is really good for sore throats, for again breathing, for fighting colds and flus, respiratory, and it also goes into my Thieves formula as well. This little bottle is cinnamon bark. Again, this one here is solely used for my Thieves formula because 5 of these essential oils go into that. They have a mix, DoTerra has a mix called Deep Blue, and this is actually a mixture of a few essential oils. So this one has wintergreen leaf oil, camphor bark oil, peppermint oil, blue tansy flower oil, blue chamomile flower oil, one I can't pronounce properly, and this osmanthus flower extract. This one here I actually use anytime where there is severe pain upon your body. So such as my hand, such as when the cow kicked my rib and fractured 2 of my ribs. I use this to numb the area to control pain. Plus it cools it, so you have, you know, your body's fighting back and you got this warm sensation because of all the inflammation buildup. This will cool it down, help with the pain, and help also fight and heal that injury. So this is why I have this particular mix, because it has, the first ingredient is wintergreen essential oil. So these are the go-to. This is what is stocked in my cabinet all the time. And I narrow it down to the top 11. Now, price-wise, your tea tree oil is going to run between $25 and $30. Your lemon oil is always a bit cheaper. It's about 13-15 bucks Canadian. Some of these average all between $20 to $30, minus the frankincense and the wintergreen, or sorry, yeah, and the blue, deep blue. You're running 100 some bucks for this one and about $50, but you only need a few drops of this. So these ones are used for major injuries and issues. These ones here are more of your mainstay. So this is what I keep in my cabinet. Now there are many, many more, but I can literally do 99% of everything with these essential oils. So if you really want to just have your basic list, I would recommend these ones. And over the years, you can buy, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever of other essential oils. But if you're on a budget, this is your top 11. You will literally be able to do any mixtures with these particular 11. So with that being said, let's just put these off to the side for a moment and let's do a hand cream, because I'm going to show you some really important information on how to make a simple hand cream with a couple of ingredients. And then I'm going to tell you also the proportions that you should be using to dilute these oils, because that's another huge question. So what I have here actually is I have a glass container here. Okay, so I have a glass container here. This has a nice plastic lid. You'll notice that I will be using these 2 fingers over these ones, because these ones are really, really stiff and they hurt like crazy. So if I'm kind of fumbling opening things, that is why. Okay, so I have a clean glass container. The lid doesn't matter if it's plastic, because you shouldn't be sloshing this around in the first place, so you can get away with a plastic lid. No big deal. So the very first thing that I'd like to use for a hand cream is coconut oil. So we're going to put a little bit of coconut oil in here, and I don't need a lot of coconut oil. Okay, so I'm looking at, you know, half a teaspoon of coconut oil. So we're just gonna drop that in. The other key thing that I always have is 100% shea butter. This I actually buy in the health and beauty section of my Real Canadian Superstore. You can buy it off Amazon. This is just a really standard hand cream that a lot of people don't know about. You want 100%. It's not that expensive. This container here is about 10 to 15 bucks. Canadian, and I use it all the time. So it kind of looks like that. It's a thicker cream, so the coconut oil will melt really easily upon touching your skin. The shea butter kind of holds it together. So the shea butter, I use that when I'm in a spot where I don't want the oil to rub off. So it sticks better, such as I use shea butter on my baby's cheeks when they get like teething or it's winter and their skin is chapped. I will put it on because they like to smear their cheeks in their beds at night, and it holds on. Rashes, stuff like that, where you want this shea butter, the oil to stay on your skin. This is what you want. So I'm gonna just grab with my finger here some shea butter. So I'm gonna put that in. Now I'm gonna make a little bit bigger of a mix because I'm gonna use this for my shoulders as well, because I got pretty beat up yesterday. So I'm gonna kind of look like that, okay? And I have my coconut oil, my shea butter. Now what I wanna do is smear the residue in my glass container here, is because I'm dealing with inflammation. I want deep blue. So I'm going to take deep blue because I know I sprained my hand quite significantly bad. So I'm just going to pop the lid off here, and I'm going to put 8 drops. Now, when you're dealing with essential oils, the average rule is for every teaspoon of carrier oil, you want about 5 drops of oil. And I'm going to be mixing oils here. So I'm going to have a higher amount of deep blue, and I'm going to decrease the rest with everything because I probably have about 2 teaspoons here. So I'm going to go 8 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 drops of deep blue. The other essential oil that I am going to use is lavender because it also helps with inflammation and soothing of the skin. So I'm going to grab some lavender. I'm going to do 3 drops of lavender in here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to put 2 drops of frankincense in here because frankincense does so well with inflammation. And I'm going to put some 2 in there. The other thing, let me take a look. I don't want oregano, that's not what I want. The peppermint, I don't want to put separate because there's already peppermint in the deep blue. Tea tree, I don't really have anything fungus wise to kill or bacterial, so I'm not going to worry about that one in this particular mix. I'm basically, those are the 2 essential oils that I am going to put in here. Now, what I want to do in this case is I just use my hand. Now, you could definitely use a spoon or something like that, but I just kind of take my finger and kind of just press down on it and mix it up like that, just because it's super simple. And I just like being straightforward. Plus, I'm going to take this cream and put it right on my hand in the first place, because that's where I need it. So I'm just gonna smush it up just like so, mix it about, or suddenly you have your own cream and you just made something very expensive that the stores would sell you. So I'm gonna mix it in, and you can see that it is a nice consistency. Just like that, okay? And you want to definitely, you don't want this melting, so you want to put it, just on your counter. If it's a really hot day or something like that, just make sure that you put it, somewhere it's not going to just go liquid. You definitely do not want this in the direct sunlight, because sunlight will destroy your essential oils. That's why all the essential oil containers have this hue to block out the light. So when it's done, it should look like that. Should it look like that on my finger? Then I take my hand here and I am just going to place it over. Now, because I cut it with the essential oil, it's not going to burn me. And I know already that these are safe for my skin, but if you don't know if they are, try to put a tester spot on yourself first before you do that. Now, a tester spot would not be your hands, would not be on your leg, would be on a more sensitive spot, because your hands on average can take a lot more than a sensitive part of your skin. So you want to either roll up your sleeve like this, do a mix, and put it right here, and see what happens. If you react to it, you know that essential oil won't be fit for you. So definitely do that, okay? Something like that. Test it out first before, because every person is different. There's tons of essential oils, and some essential oils some people react to over other oils. So if it doesn't work for you, don't freak out. Just find another oil that has this close to the same properties. And that's what's so nice about this book, because they give you different ideas, and you can play with it. So definitely do that. The other thing with essential oils is that you should never, ever, ever put essential oils up your nose. You should never ever rub your eyes with your essential oils. Never put essential oils in your eyes. You should never ever directly put essential oils in your ears. There is stuff to dilute for an earache in oil, but you're using a little bit of oil with 1 or 2 drops of the proper essential oil. So definitely don't just do that. You got really sensitive membranes, you will burn them. Do not put direct essential oils on your private parts. You will burn like crazy. Do not do that. There are proper ways to treat and there are proper ways to use it in those spots if you got infection or rashes, but do not take an essential oil and just drop it on there. Bad idea. You are asking for trouble. So other sensitive spots would be right here on your arm, okay? Same with the back of your legs, are very sensitive spots. So think about it when you're doing that. Make sure you don't want to burn those membranes. Don't forget to wash your hands after you deal with essential oils, because I've done it before and I guarantee many other people, you know, you're helping your child, you're massaging some eucalyptus with some oil, carrier oil, and you get going doing something else and you forgot that you had just dealt with eucalyptus and you rub your eyes, and your eye will tell you and remind you of your sad situation. Wash out your eyes, okay? It can burn and it could damage your eyes, so wash your eyes out if you accidentally get them into your eye. When you're dealing with mixtures, the rule of thumb is 3 to 5 drops of essential oil per teaspoon of carrier oil. So that's kind of what you got going in your head. Now, if you're an adult, you can beef that up. If you're if you're putting this on a baby, you can definitely decrease it, but that's what you're looking at. So if you got a teaspoon of oil with essential oils in it and you're dipping it and putting it on, it will last a lot longer. Plus, you're not burning the skin. These are very strong, and I'm going to stress that because so many people don't use them properly and they end up emptying out a full 15 milliliter because they're using it straight. You want to dilute it. So this cream here that I just made just a moment ago will last me until this is healed up. So I'm going to put this on my hand every time I come in the house. So I'm gonna head out into the garden. I'm gonna set up rows. I'm gonna do some work because I still got mobility over here. I've got my children to give me a hand. I'm not gonna slow down, but when I come in the house, I'm gonna be putting this on as I, you know, prep and am not playing in the dirt. So this will last me, and I use 8 drops of deep blue, 2 drops of frankincense, and a couple of drops of lavender. And so that will go for the whole duration. Plus I'll probably put this a bit on my shoulder, a bit on my neck here, because I am sore. Like, I know where I hit that ground hard and got pulled. So that saves me a trip to my pharmacist, a trip to my doctor. I can totally take care of this myself. And help with that pain and numb it some more. Now, if you have a bite, let's say like a bad mosquito bite, you can use the peppermint or the lavender. Like a lot of time on my kids, I will take the lavender and I will just put a drop on if that mosquito bite is like totally pussing up. There's times where my kids got bit and it's just like pus city. They react to it. I react to mosquito bites. I will put a drop straight on that mosquito bite, or sometimes a spider bite. I won't actually use a carrier oil for that instant. I'm just concentrating on that bite. Usually I will pop off the head of the bite. If it's closed up, I will squeeze any kind of ooziness that comes out, and then I'll put a drop on. Sometimes it stings, sometimes it doesn't, but the sting is very minimal. It's getting into that, and I will sometimes do that 4 or 5 times a day to decrease that particular infection from that bite, and it does help. So that's something that I will just go straight on essential oil, but I'm not putting 10 drops. I'm putting 1 drop on there. And there's so many ways. I can make this video 10 hours long on everything that I've used, but I'm going to go through a couple of examples. I'm going to post a few videos of how to use essential oils, how to use herbs, and I'm just going to randomly post them so you get an idea. But this will just jumpstart you in understanding on how to use them, what to do with some cream, get some things stocked up that you can use without breaking the bank. But again, get this book. If you really are serious about essential oils and you want some kind of reference, you know, if you like say you have an earache or you got a throat, a sore throat or whatever, this will at least give you a reference on what to mix together so you understand what you shouldn't, what you shouldn't mix and what you should mix together. This will be your guide, and this beats any Google search you'll ever do. So I would really advise you to get this book. Again, I get no kickbacks. This is just all of these products, there's no kickbacks here. Get this book. So with that being said, search out, I'm going to put a list of all the essential oils I went through in the description box below. Those are my top 11. You should definitely have some kind of carrier oil in your medicine cabinet. You should have shea butter in there. I would advise to get some coconut oil. It's just such a great oil. And grab something, some containers, something that's glass. To make hand creams. Use painter's tape to label if you got multiple hand creams. I will go through some different kind of creams on later videos. Stay posted. I want to make this as simple as I can. So if I simplified your life in understanding the basics of essential oils, where to buy them, kind of an idea on quickly on how to use them, the safety, just generally how to get you started with essential oils. If I did that, tell me. So I can continue and know that I'm making this easy to understand and not complicating it for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being patient, as this is a bit longer video, but I wanted it thorough. So thank you, and I will see you on the next video.